This whole week?
Yeah.
About these last few months.
Better yet, yeah.
Well, go ahead.
No, look, it's been. Let's just say it's gonna be a fun night when finally both fighters are in the ring and the first bell rings and we know we have a fight. Yeah, it's been stressful, but this is what boxing's all about. This is what when you have a target on your back and everybody's after you, you have to know how to fight. And what better person than me? You know, no other promoter has ever laced the gloves in their lives like I have. So it's been a fun ride, but I'm looking forward to what's to come.
How much does this remind you of when you fought Canelo?
I'm sorry?
How much does this remind you of when you fought Canelo?
It reminds me a lot. I mean, me being the smaller guy, maybe I bit off too much I could chew, and I think Canelo has his hands full with Golovkin, with Kovalev. This is a mega fight. This is way bigger than Golovkin. I mean, he just fought 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, and he looked great. I mean, he looked great against a young guy, a young stud. So, I mean, hopefully Canelo can handle his power.
I guess the question is, what are the differences between when you fought Bernard and
Well, different styles. I mean, I was more of a boxer puncher. It's I don't know if you can compare it. You can compare the size, but not the styles. I mean, Hopkins was he was a technician up there, very calculated. Kovalev is very not really one-dimensional, but just in your face, strong and very power puncher. Same with Canelo. He's a power puncher. He's a strong fighter.
Oscar, Canelo tiene que subir 2 kilos. Tú viviste cuando eras boxeador esa experiencia de tener que subir. Digas,
Claro.
¿cómo ves esta situación para...?
Sí, es quizás lo más difícil que va a suceder es el peso. El peso no se le va a hacer fácil al Canelo. 2 divisiones es mucho, pero obviamente sabemos que el Canelo tiene el equipo para ajustarse, y saber lo que está haciendo, ¿no? Necesitan un plan de ataque perfecto.
Oscar, Eric Gomez over the weekend said this was probably one of the most toughest negotiations you guys have had.
Yeah.
He used words like rats and vultures that were around.
Yeah.
How would you describe the last few months as far as how this fight came to happen?
A lot of patience and a lot of I think I bit my tongue like 9 times, holding back, and there were many times where I was like, just forget it, this is ridiculous. I mean, this fight was gonna be non-existent a few days ago, but you have to have a lot of patience.
And with that said, there was a lot of problems with not being able to make the fight on Mexican Independence Day, Canelo getting stripped of his title. Do you feel like that kind of affected your friendship and relationship with him too?
No, it's look, a boxer and a promoter is like a marriage. You have your little scuffles here and there, your little scraps. He wins, I win, or she wins, I win, whatever. And at the end of the day, you love each other. That's it.
So are you guys sleeping in the same bed again? I mean, how would you describe your relationship from, let's say, 3 weeks ago then?
I mean, that's what boxing is. I mean, it's boxing is a sport that, look, you have your ups and downs. You have to bite your tongue, and you have to have a lot of patience. That's about it, because, like I said, we have a huge target on our back, and everybody wants a piece of us. We just have to be careful and strategize and be smarter than them. Look, Bob Arum, he was like fantasizing about Canelo. He was like salivating over him, right? and then he has Crawford. What is he doing for him? He's not doing anything for him. I actually feel kind of bad that Crawford might not even get to the Hall of Fame one day because Bob can't get him a fight. So look, Canelo's with us. He's with Team Golden Boy for many more years.
What?
Ryan Garcia is with Team Golden Boy for many more years. Bob Arum or whoever's out there, just stop salivating. Leave our fighters alone and let us do our job.
So, Oscar,
How'd you
speaking of
make
Bob,
peace with Ryan?
sorry, go ahead.
How'd you make peace with Ryan in that meeting?
We just talked it over. That's it.
What'd you do?
He wants to. What did I do?
Yeah.
We re-signed him. We re-signed him to a very lucrative contract, and we're extremely happy. And he's gonna fight November 2nd on the undercard against Duno.
Speaking of Bob, you were a fighter, of course, a great fighter. You had issues with Bob, and now you've dealt with issues with Canelo and Ryan. How different is it being on this side versus when you were on the other side fighting with Bob?
It's. I mean, my issues were different. My issues were different where I literally cut Bob Arum, in something. This is different. This was just a little miscommunication, and everything got resolved, and that's why we're here today.
During this process, did you ever say to yourself, "Wow, this is crazy that now, it's all different sides"?
It's. Believe me, I would rather be on the golf course, getting a birdie, or out on the sea, catching that tuna. But I love boxing so much that it's my passion, and so
Oscar, your
this
guy's
is
right
why
behind you. You wanna bring him up
this
there?
is why
Got Ryan back there, you guys?
this is why we're here, because it's my passion, but Ryan wants to be and believe me, we have the star in boxing with Canelo, but I'll tell you one thing, this guy's gonna be the star. I mean, I can't wait till when this guy's on Jimmy Fallon, when he's on all those night talk shows and really blowing up boxing, and it's gonna be a fun ride.
Oscar, when Ryan was tweeting all those things, did you go in his DMs and be like, let's talk instead?
I was like, man, come on, Ryan, I thought we were boys.
Hey, I feel like, family fights, but everything works out at the
Always
end.
works out.
I don't know who has brothers and sisters here, but I'm sure y'all fought with them before. But we all good now.
We have to bring Canelo in.
Feel good.
So everybody take a seat. We're going to bring Canelo in.